I'm Tom Yeager, Commissioner of the Colonial Athletic Association. Well, on the bio side, I'm a graduate of Springfield College, Springfield, Massachusetts. Had worked at the NCAA for 9 years in the enforcement department and legislative services. And before taking the job, being hired as commissioner of the CA in 1985. So it's my 27th year as commissioner of the CAA. It's our 5th year in sponsoring football under the CAA banner, but our league dates back 60-some years. Sure, we've won a total of 5 national championships in the league, 4 since 2003. Delaware was a national champion in 03, James Madison in 04. Then App State had their 3-year run in 5, 6, and 7. Came back with Richmond in 08. Villanova won in 09. And, last year Delaware was in the national championship game again. We've had a team in the national championship game 7 of the last 8 years. We've had multiple teams selected, no less than 4 teams selected for the championship each of the last 4 years. We had 5 teams selected twice in that period. Last year, all 4 of our teams got byes in the first round. 3 of them advanced to the second round. We've had 2 teams in the Final Four for the last couple of years. So we're pretty active participants in the play. Well, it starts with the investment that our institutions make in their programs. We're seeing new stadiums being built. They're investing in quality coaches who are recruiting good young men who are good players, and we have an opportunity through our television package to reach a lot of potential viewers, and our schools are attractive places to go. So I think it's a pretty complete combination of things that kind of all come into play. But it really starts with the fact that our institutions are making the commitment on the campus level. Well, we've not particularly. I mean, obviously we were disappointed in the result of the championship game last year, and obviously we'd like to get back to Frisco and take another shot at a championship. So I think that was kind of the theme that's going on. We've gone through some membership realignments and changes over the last couple of years. Teams that have dropped football, others that are moving up. We have Old Dominion coming into the league this year. It's a startup program in their 3rd year. Georgia State going to come in next year. So we spent a lot of time on some membership issues and some structural issues. But at the end of the day, I think we're, again, it's the excitement of, game day and playing tough competition and trying to get some wins and play deep into December. Well, again, this is a league that goes back to the old Yankee Conference. It's been around 63 or 64 years, I think, all total. You have some up in New England, everything from New Hampshire and Maine, New Hampshire and UMass. The Villanova-Delaware game has been played forever. Richmond and William and Mary, I think, is the 2nd longest continuous football series in the country. I think behind Lehigh Lafayette, if I'm not mistaken. JMU coming on board, and Old Dominion, that's going to be another rivalry coming out right out of the blocks. And then as it continues to go along, we just see great games that have a great deal of importance, spawn rivalry. So when we've been fortunate to have a number of highly ranked teams, our fans know it. And so when they travel into places, it's a big game, and it's got all the big game atmosphere going. We're pretty geographically centered so that fans can travel and follow us on TV. We'll have again, close to 50 games on television probably by the end of the season. And, those are all things that I think are good indicators that the programs are very healthy. Well, it's just getting started and seeing where it goes. Our first 4 years have been just, tremendous excitement, some great accomplishments. When you have situations where 2 years ago we beat a couple ACC teams on the same night. Last year with JMU knocking off Virginia Tech, it kind of builds, and then all the ranked teams and getting into then the playoffs start, and that's a whole second series in itself. And we've been fortunate to be pretty successful in the playoffs, and I think it really is just kind of watching how the season unfolds and where it could take us. Well, I think it's again a great testament to the young men and the quality of the young men that are playing in the league. I think at last count we had 42 guys in the NFL, including 2 head coaches of NFL teams. And it's exciting because generally these kids have been told that they're not quite the blue chipper that's going to the BCS leagues, and so when you get an opportunity to excel and to be recognized and get an opportunity for an education that, oh, by the way, may also give an opportunity for a professional career, that's kind of the best of what intercollegiate athletics has to offer. So, Pat and Tyler both had great years last year. Pat's on to the NFL, and Tyler's looking for a senior year that I think will continue to build, and they're just nice young men that really are good student athletes that aren't caught up in so much of the other stuff that happens that gets all the sensational headlines. Well, I was an investigator in the 1970s and 80s. And then when I got out professionally, I served on the Committee on Infractions then in the mid-90s, from 97 to 2006. So kind of did full circle, a little bit. Obviously it's an area that I started my professional career in. I think that those folks that have worked as investigators and later that get involved in just anybody that gets involved with the infractions committee, really believes in the intercollegiate athletic model and the need that somebody's got to take the time and effort to protect and support and do some of the dirty work in protecting the college model, collegiate model. But it's so it's troubling when you see some of the scandals that come about. But unfortunately, they've been going on for decades, and will probably continue to go on for decades because you have people that are looking for an advantage in a very emotional and competitive field, whether it's athletics or tax law or whatever. And so those people just have to be held accountable. You don't be afraid to start and doing anything and working hard. We get constant young men and women that want to come in and get into business, and what we tell them to do is you've got to distinguish yourself somehow. And what you need to do is go look for a mentor, go volunteer if there's no jobs in an athletic department. Learn what's going on. People get enamored by the filled stadium on a Saturday afternoon and stuff, and don't have any appreciation for all the work that goes on months before, or that may think it's a career on the 50-yard line. Well, oftentimes it's a career out in the parking lot too, early on. You got to pay your dues. You got to work hard. But I think if you do that and bringing creativity and an energy, there's a place for you, to get involved in sports. But there's nothing magical about it. It's probably no different than getting in careers in any other areas. You've got to have a background and aptitude for it, and then come to work every day with an idea that I'm gonna work hard and make a difference. Try to make a difference. Special talents, probably no, but I'm a boater. We live on a lake down here in Richmond. Grew up around the water. So if while some people may head out to the golf course or something, I'm headed out, for a boat ride or something. Go out in the water and just enjoy and relax. How I relax. Try to unwind a little bit. And then there's always enough stuff to keep us busy. It seems so. Unfortunately, some of those times get very precious because there's not a lot of it. Well, I think any commissioner would tell you the membership issues are very, very difficult. Particularly now, so with all the rumors and the rapidity of rumors and stuff. But you work hard to create a family with your schools and to try to strive to do the best. And on occasion, you have people that are leaving and are leaving with messages that you aren't doing enough for me, which sometimes is really tough. But the other aspect of it is I think that anytime you have to do the difficult things about suspending coaches or being the disciplinarian, or players and coaches is always difficult. I think by nature, most of us like to work towards positive outcomes, but you also have to delve in and be tough and make the tough calls and take some unpopular positions sometimes, and that's some of the stuff that keeps you up nights. Well, we've with football, we start with number one goal is to have a great regular season, have great programs on the campus, and to show up to play for the national title in Frisco, Texas, in January. You hope to have a regular season that goes without incident. Because I think one of the things that sometimes people don't fully appreciate, and tell them that is, I go to games, and for the most part, I have a winning locker room and a losing locker room. And, you need to be able to, kind of operate in both environments if you're going to be successful, because that's part of the job. And, it's different than being on campus where you're just absolutely locked in on one team. I'll always have somebody in first place. I'll always have somebody in last place. I'll have coaches that are riding great seasons and great victories, and I'll have coaches that are just absolutely miserable and fighting for their lives and maybe their jobs, to stay in something that they may have, given their entire career for. I think that's the thing you look forward to, an exciting season without a whole lot of drama, just great games, and then being around at the end when you're playing for the grand prize, the national championship. Sure. Well, both Old Dominion and Georgia State started football to, in part, change some of the culture of their own campuses. Old Dominion starts CAA play this year. It's their third season of football competition. They've, for the last 2 years, they've sold out their stadium of 20,000 plus and have a waiting list of 17 or 1,800 people on a season ticket list. Great excitement down in Norfolk. There's another team in the state of Virginia that's going to have instant rivalries, coming in and looking forward to, their addition to the league. Georgia State's in their second season of competition with legendary coach Bill Curry. They made great strides as a baby program last year, and they're a little bit older, a little bit stronger. They'll be coming into the league next season. I think an early interesting game will be they play Old Dominion on September 10th, and so I'm sure there's a lot of interest on both teams about one has a 1-year head start on the other, but to see how they all measure up. But again, it brings the Atlanta market to the area, and just the South is so college football crazy. They're great additions, and I think that as I've told their fans many times, you guys are all going to be good, but there is no substitute for fifth-year seniors. And as you joke around and say, and it's true again this year. I got up at a booster meeting a couple of years ago after the AD who said, our goal is to be a top 10 program. We're going to do everything the right way to be a top 10 program. I said, well, that's great, but that puts you fourth in our league if you're a top 10 program. So they're going to be good, and it's going to be a great excitement. I think really add to the dynamic that's uniquely college football. Well, just come out, enjoy another great season of CAA football, all the pageantry, the tailgating, getting back with friends, support your teams, through the good and the bad. And, we try to believe, we like to believe that we represent the best in college athletics, and we can do that with the outstanding fan support. That's in a positive manner also. We know it's an emotional game. We know that sometimes things don't always work out. But some of the incidents that are plaguing not only college football but professional football also, we just no place for it. And let's support the young men that are out there and bring so much enjoyment to so many people. Well, just same thing. Good luck with the season. May it be injury-free for our players. May they use the opportunity to play college football to the utmost and get their college degree at the same time. We're proud of what they represent and what they accomplish. And I think the coaches the same way. I believe all our coaches are, when you strip away everything else, they are tremendously concerned with the welfare of their student athletes, and realizing that there are a lot of players that may have some pro potential on their teams, but first and foremost that they're watching and interested in seeing the young men grow into adults. And when they complete playing football, they're better for it, and will have their college degree. And I'm sure they look forward to seeing them come back to homecoming 10 years later, and charting their progress throughout the course of their career and their lives. Tom Yeager, I'm Commissioner of the Colonial Athletic Association, and would like to thank all the fans and supporters of college football, and thank you for listening to this program.